In terms of C-V2X, there are a lot of exciting things happening around the world. We're actually conducting testing. Ford, Qualcomm, and others are testing in the US, in the Detroit area, and in San Diego, demonstrating some really effective and efficient results with C-V2X communication, demonstrating range and latency capability that was unexpected. And with release 14 and direct device-to-device communication now possible, we see this as the opportunity to build on the cellular ecosystem that will be perpetuated as we evolve to 5G. And of course, with these testing developments, we're able to communicate with official bodies like the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration in the US and the European Commission here in Europe to talk about the benefits of C-V2X and what we see as a great opportunity to join an ecosystem that we think will propel us forward as we go into the future.
Well, C-V2X is important for four big reasons. The first of these is future-proofing. The second is coverage. The third is flexibility. And the final one is cost efficiency. So if I think about the first one, future-proofing, 5G technology is part of the standards that we use for mobile. It's built on 3G, 4G, and 5G. And by building it onto this, it means that as the world changes, as we get different use cases, we automatically support that, and it's built into that overall big ecosystem. The second one is coverage. We're not talking about having to build lots of new coverage. With mobile technology, we already have a lot of coverage in place, especially in urban areas and around roads, rail, etc. So that's something we can build on and doesn't need to be duplicated. The next one is flexibility. This technology is built around mobility. It's what we do, it's in our DNA, so it's already incorporated into it. And finally, cost efficiency is something that is really important because we can build on all the ecosystem, all the chipsets, all the smartphones, everything that is developed for mobile, and we can transfer and use that in a C-V2X perspective. So we think it's really important that the Commission doesn't do anything that prevents C-V2X. We want to be able to have a tech neutrality basis, and we don't want to be choosing which particular technologies are going to be winners or losers. We believe that should be left to the market to choose. And that's why we've brought some key stakeholders and experts from the industry to talk tonight about where we are with C-V2X and the advantages and opportunities it offers.
The European Union wants to bring connected and automated mobility really at the benefit of the citizen, of road safety, as fast as possible in Europe. And that last part is important because we really want to do it in Europe with a non-fragmented digital single market. We want to emphasize the digital aspects of it. What we really want to do is to bring the systems that are now coming to maturity as quickly as possible to the market. And particularly from the digital angle, we think it's very important to cover the cross-border sections from the beginning and not at the end, to make sure that we really have a European system. And for that, it's very important that we look towards the new technology, the 5G that is coming on stream. We have made investments, and we will make more investments in the future multi-annual financial framework.
And obviously, deployment of CITS is something that will be done by a number of players. That includes car manufacturers, chipset manufacturers, telco operators like us. It is not going to be done by the European Commission. Therefore, what I would say is the European Commission needs to put in place legislation that incentivizes all these players to actually deploy. And we believe there's a very good way to do that. There's many complexities around CITS. It is by no means trivial because you are pretty much playing with safety, road safety, and people's lives and integrity of limb. So legislation needs to go through a number of topics which we have no time to describe, and take a performance-based approach in our view, which is it will tell all these players that I mentioned, if you want to be in this market, if you want to supply solutions to CITS, you need to comply with these criteria, and you will need to perform according to those criteria without going into the actual choice of technologies.
Oh yes, of course. You may know that there are already millions of connected cars on the road. So, and this number is growing rapidly. And some of the OEMs have already implemented some hazard information warnings. And for instance, Daimler has done it, Audi has done it, BMW has done it. Also Volvo cars are connected via cloud, and that means via the existing networks. So in those warnings, which are distributed to the drivers, obviously can increase traffic safety. But what is even more important, what is happening now, these OEMs are working together, for instance via HERE. And by combining and linking the OEMs together via HERE, the warnings generated from one car can be distributed to even more cars from the other manufacturers. So that is a very important step forward to use current networks to increase safety.